On behalf of Mohanji Foundation USA, a warm welcome to all. Special welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church community. Mahatma Gandhi was born on the 2nd of October, and on this day is celebrated as Gandhi Jayanti in India. On this day, it is useful for us to reflect on Gandhi's key tenets: non-violence, ahimsa, and truth, satya. Gandhi believed that these tenets are two sides of a same coin. Non-violence is the means and the truth is the end. Our topic for exploration and understanding today is non-violence, the only path to freedom. The Mahabharata, one of the greatest epics of Hinduism, has multiple mentions of the phrase ahimso paramo dharma, which literally means non-violence is the highest moral virtue. Non-violence towards all living species and to oneself. Non-violence in thought, word, and action. There is a passage in the Mahabharata that states ahimsa is the highest dharma. Ahimsa is the highest self-control. Ahimsa is the greatest gift. Ahimsa is the best practice. Ahimsa is the highest sacrifice. Ahimsa is the finest strength. Ahimsa is the greatest friend. Ahimsa is the greatest happiness. Ahimsa is the highest truth. Ahimsa is the greatest teaching. The scriptures also mention that one who practices ahimsa will be truly liberated. If ahimsa is such an important virtue, it should be a core value in all our lives, right? We have many questions and need for clarity. How do we practice ahimsa in our daily lives? Does ahimsa mean passivity? Is ahimsa unconditional love? How do we respond to situations when others are violent and spew hatred? How do societies, communities, and countries imbibe this principle in their approach to public policy and international relations? To help us with the answers to these questions, and more importantly, we have two great leaders who will, through their conversation, enlighten us: Mohanji and Reverend Abhi Janamanchi. Welcome to both of you. Mohanji is a world-renowned philanthropist and humanitarian, and the founder of Mohanji Foundation, a platform that provides practices that help people live joyful, productive, and purposeful lives. Having dedicated his life to serving the world, Mohanji has also established several other platforms: 𝗡𝗢𝗡 Foundation for charitable activities, 𝗡𝗢𝗡 for Hunger program that feeds thousands of people and other species, birds, animals, etc. throughout the world, Early Birds Club, Himalayan School of Traditional Yoga, dance, language, and martial arts, and a corporate program called Invest in Awareness. He walks the path of nonviolence and is driven by the conviction that we should all leave the earth a better place. Reverend Abhi Janamanchi is a senior minister at the Cedar Lane Unitarian Universalist Church, Bethesda, Maryland. In the larger community, he has been actively involved in interfaith, multicultural, and social justice work for over 2 decades, including serving as a president of the International Association for Religious Freedom, as a member of the executive team of the Montgomery County Interfaith Community Working Group, and the Internal Review Board of the National Cancer Institute and the National Institutes of Health. Reverend Abhi's selfless commitment to diversity and pluralism helps him serve and build his community through respect, acceptance, and understanding. It is pertinent to mention that Mohanji has spoken on several occasions at the Unitarian Church. A quick note on the upcoming program: Cedar Lane Unitarian Universalist Church, in association with Mohanji Foundation USA, will offer a 21-day online program called Living Ahimsa. Please look for the program details. At the conclusion of this conversation, Mohanji will lead us through a short meditation. Over to you, Reverend.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ganesh.
Thank you, Ganesh, for that wonderful introduction and also providing a really good framework for this conversation. And I'm grateful to you, Mohanji, for taking time to join us today and to be able to participate in this dialogue as we commemorate Mahatma Gandhi's birth anniversary. I was struck by some of the things that Ganesh shared in his introduction, especially about ahimsa being a core spiritual value that that emanates out of the Indian culture and tradition, which is something that Gandhiji sought to inculcate and practice in his life. I'm reminded of the 11 vows that Mahatma Gandhi practiced in his life, which actually my grandfather used to recite every day. I still remember that because he would recite it more as a prayer, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Asangraha, Sharirasya, Aswada, Vinamre, Vratanishchaye. I'm now blanking out on the other 11 vows. Let me say this again. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Asangraha, Sharirasrama, Aswada, Sarvatra Bhayavarjana, Sarvadharma Samanatve, Swadeshi, Sparsha Bhavana. Those are the 11 vows that he sought to practice in his life. But the first one is ahimsa, which of course, the rough translation in English is non-violence, but it's deeper than that. And I was wondering if you might be able to address what the deeper meaning of ahimsa is and why it is a foundational practice for life.
Thank you, Reverend Janamanchi. This is really an honor for me that I'm able to speak or communicate a subject as profound as ahimsa with the audience of this group. Ahimsa for me is human refinement. It's a sign of human refinement. When I say ahimsa, it's not just a theory. It's about expressing our highest possible refinement. Like the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Ashtanga Yoga, the Yama, Niyama, first aspect is ahimsa. Because see, when you have to, or when you really need to experience the highest potential of human birth, which is complete liberation, we can call it nirvana, mukti, or we can call it enlightenment, whatever we call it, doesn't matter. But the thing is that you are completely liberated. To experience that, the fundamental foundation is ahimsa. Ahimsa is easily translated as non-violence, but it's more of an expression that our highest potential gets to expressed, or that's the way our highest potential expresses itself. No violence in thoughts, no violence in actions, no violence in expressions. In three levels, where three levels of creation, one is thought, second is expression or words, and third is action. In these three levels, when we practice zero violence, we start evolving. That becomes our foundation. Then comes truth and other things, the 11 pillars which you had spoken about just now. Truth, fearlessness, all those things comes next. Because if the foundation has even an element of violence in it, even if we violate in thought level itself, imbalance starts inside us. For us to be really, really stable, we should be totally free from violence inside. Even thinking bad about somebody, talking bad about something or somebody, all those things are creating enough raw, wild energies inside us, which is completely opposite of attaining peace. So the path to peace is non-violence, and that is live and let live. Plus, we need to see, if you look at India, the culture is that of respect, a culture of respect. And this culture of respect is very important. That's why every plant, every tree, every bird, every animal, they are all associated to divinity. And they are connected to divinity. So when you respect, you also protect. So violence cannot happen there then. The possibility of violence is deleted with this kind of thought. So this is very important to understand that violence is one of the fundamentals that we have always believed in. And why it is? Because Our aim in every life or each life is to attain the highest possibility while living. Otherwise, eating, drinking, sleeping, usual chasing something outside and then happy or disappointed, that mode will never end because it's like a vicious cycle. So from there, to get back to ourselves, fundamentally, we need to be non-violent. So ahimsa is paramo dharma, is one of the supreme most dharma, righteousness, in the path of righteousness. Ahimsa has a great role to play, and from ahimsa, other things begin.
Thank you, Mohanji. That was a beautiful explanation of ahimsa, and one of the things that you lifted up is the ahimsa being the essence of human refinement. And the implication from what you were sharing is that when we work toward freeing our heart from all forms of violence, from violent thoughts, violent actions, violent words, violent deeds, what is the state that remains? And in order to feel that sense of deeper peace, which in turn we are then able to radiate it out into the world, I'm just wondering, what is it that remains when we free ourselves completely all of these? I'm thinking of the two foundational principles that you convey in your work and in your message, which is purity and faith. And I'm wondering about what connects purity and faith in the practice of ahimsa, and what is that state of being that we are left with?
Thank you. It's contentment. When we do not have any conflicts, what remains is contentment, peace inside. We are peaceful. All the birds, animals, all the beings in the world requires only peace. They only need peace, peaceful life, peaceful existence. That does not mean procrastination, but an existence where you are not in conflict with anything. So when you are non-violent in thoughts, expressions, action, you are not in conflict with anything outside. You may have your opinions, but then that's natural because we may like some things, we may not like some things. We have our orientations, we have our disposition, we have our own nature, we have our character. This is all accepted. This is exactly how it should be. That's the variety in unity, or unity in variety. So we are unique, and we should be unique, and we are universal beings. So, but as human beings, since we are not just bound by instinct, while all the other beings are bound by instinct, their main interest is having food and survive. So for human beings, there are much more variety of pleasures they chase. So sometimes even if you do not have food, if you have internet connection, some people are happy. so our range is different. So in this context, the purity aspect, which I always propagate, has a lot to do with ahimsa. That's why I said my path is that of ahimsa. My religion is humanity. For human beings, the right religion is humanity, just being human, completely, without violence, without expectation, without comparison, without competition. If you live a life of perfect humanness or humanity, being a human, then ahimsa is a very, very, very important thing in there. And faith, fundamentally, the two pillars which we spoke about, purity and faith, the faith fundamentally is faith in oneself. If we don't have belief in ourselves, we cannot have belief in anything. So even if we have belief in anything external, until they become your reality, our reality, it is of no value. So our belief and faith is in ourselves. The whole universe we are trying to understand, to recognize, to experience is within us. So if we have any conflict with us, if we have ahimsa towards us, it won't work. So ahimsa has to be practiced within. We have to ask, are we judging ourselves a lot? Are we competing with people, or are we dissatisfied with the life or with anything around? Are we discontented? Or do we have conflicts in every step? All these are questions which will tell how deeply are we connected to ourselves. Our main purpose is to connect with ourselves. And once we connect with ourselves deeply, then we start connecting with the whole world unconditionally. The whole unconditionality happens only when we connect deeply with ourselves or in deep acceptance of ourselves. Three things I can talk about in that connection. One is acceptance, self-acceptance, self-respect, self-love. These three things are vital for anybody, any seeker to become the sought. So the movement is from the mind to consciousness. That is the moment of spirituality. A spiritual well-being is from the mind-oriented life to that of consciousness. In this journey, the beginning is always non-violence, ahimsa, towards us and towards the world outside or any beings. So I do not really agree with any of the violence which the society does towards public properties and those kind of things. See, they are all signs that we have not agreed with ourselves. So fundamentally, on a unit level, every individual should accept themselves, what they have, and then work towards improving within, not outside, not in competition with somebody, not in comparison with somebody, because all people are perfect as they are. They are born perfect. So with that acceptance, with that understanding, the moment you take a step, then you start evolving. And that's why I said, from mind which discriminates or try to compare and compete, to the level of consciousness where you only see unity of consciousness. So that level we can grow. And purity and faith are two pillars which are essential for stability. Faith in oneself and faith in life, faith in existence. We can follow any religion we like, whether it is, the religious caps have no value here. It's about us. It's about us being a true seeker looking for the sought within. A true seeker looking for the sought within, not outside. Words are the most weakest of communications. Feelings are much better. Experience is even more better. So body talks to you as feelings, through feelings. Like hunger is a feeling. Thirst is a feeling. All desires are feelings. They come in through the body, or body asks for. Soul also communicates to us through feelings. So for listening to the soul, we must have quietness inside. We must be quiet inside, because soul's language is expressed through the medium of silence. It's feeling, and again it's feeling, just like the body, because it's truthful. Body is always truthful. Soul is also truthful. Mind is polluted, like water gets polluted with the surrounding. Mind gets polluted with the surrounding. So soul is always pure and truthful. Body is also truthful, but sometimes not so pure, because what we consume contaminates it. But still, its communication is feeling. So for receiving these two, we have to have a kind of skill to listen more, accept more, appreciate more. In that mode, we can actually create a well-grounded movement or in our life, a path in our life.
That is just so beautiful. Thank you. So here's the challenge, Mohanji, that I find myself struggling with. And you referenced it earlier. You know, when you talked about how we as a species mostly are not peaceful inside, even though we are deeply craving for peace, you know, inner peace and world peace and communal peace, we carry around this deep inner restlessness, even a toxic anxiety at times, which seems to be born out of our fears, our frustrations, our helplessness, and our attachments. Attachments to temporal realities and And sometimes that takes over our ability to connect with that deep sense of wholeness, that perfection you spoke about, and have more faith in that, in ourselves, and faith in the larger creation. And I also notice within myself that some of my own inner turmoil is the result of my constant yearning for peace. I want inner peace, but I'm sometimes unable to find it, and the anxiety that my yearning sometimes creates makes me more restless than even what I'm trying to achieve. So all of this to seek your insight in how do we go about finding a way to balance our mind, body, and soul, to be connected to the principle of ahimsa. How do we do that?
Yes, I think as you rightly said, the anxieties and the usual fears of life are fundamentally I think we have learned to live with it, or we have acquired it. I think this is our pattern. Most of these fears are pattern, because society has created a kind of system. A child is born, it goes through school, learns, gets a job, get married, have a house, have children, and then retire from job, look after children's children or their children's education. That pattern is creating the one part of that pattern is this anxiety or fear. But truth is not that. It's grossly ignorance that creates fear. Fear about future. See, one of the major fear is fear of death, but it's an inevitability. If we have two boundaries, one is birth, one is death, unchangeable. They are boundaries, they are walls, and our journey is from these 2 points, between these 2 points. So we don't have much say in these within these boundaries. We are flowing through life. We are born in some place, we reach some place, we do certain things, we have certain experiences. All these things are happening, not we are creating. Even though we have the wrong feeling or illusion that we are creating it, but absolutely not. It's just happening. While it's happening, we are engaging in it, and then we take the ownership. So second point is ownership. Ownership causes sorrows. But actually speaking, we can own nothing on earth, even this body. This body is also temporary. We have taken a vehicle from birth till death. The body is just like a rent-a-car, which we have taken from birth till death. You can't extend it. You can't take it anymore. By the time it's death, it's done. Then you leave it back. And body is a delicate assembly of elements like earth, water, space, air, all those put together. We have this body. So the fundamental understanding is that, or the light in darkness is that this awareness that this is a temporary body, and what we are here is to experience multiple things. Right from birth till death, we are experiencing multiple things, and each time it changes. The flavor changes, likes changes, dislikes changes, everything changes. So while we are going through these changes, we are experiencing. So what is our savings then? If experiences are the cause of birth, then what is the saving? Memories. Only memories. We save nothing here. We cannot save anything at all from our life. All the relations, all the possessions, all the positions are temporary. There is no continuity. Or even if there is continuity, that itself is fragmented continuity. Means we are not really holding on to anything. It keeps changing. So even our body has changed from childhood till now. If you take, it's changed. So if you just allow this flow to continue, means without mind getting involved, if we reduce the ownership, if we reduce the expectations from life, instead increase acceptance of things as it comes, and try to do your best in that situation every point in time. Each point in time, we try to make things better. Like if we have loved 2 people today, make it 4 people tomorrow. then finally you become unconditional love. You have no other emotions possible. So like that, we can constantly raise our awareness from anger, hatred, jealousy, greed, revenge, all those binding terrestrial gravitational emotions, to that of ahimsa, non-violence, selflessness, shanti, the peace, and love, unconditional love, and also compassion, kindness, those levels of existence, which is that of higher human refinement. And one of the things which will help in this is the ability to share what we have. If you have time to share, share time. If you have love to share, share love. If you have money to share, share money. What you have in abundance, that you share, so that you feel great having it plus able to share it. So having something and having the ability to share will make you powerful personalities. That gives a lot of strength and power. So the path towards ahimsa, the path towards stability, is fundamentally acceptance, less ownership, or zero ownership. Actually, we need to own nothing. We are here to experience, and experience is all that we have. And plus, we in this whole bargain, we have some memories. And memories also do not stay same. It keeps changing. Memories keep changing. Each time it's a different flavor. Like we had a memory about something 10 years ago. When you think about it now, it might be different. Maybe many of the emotions are lost. Sometimes a pain can become a purpose. You know, a deep pain which shattered you at some point in time becomes a purpose and raises you up at another point in time. So everything has its transformative possibility, a possibility of transformation. So this transformation is our bonus of life. While memories are our savings, transformation is the bonus. So in the transformation, highest human refinement we should reach. I mean, that's the highest we can climb, where we need nothing from here. That's sainthood, a state where all I have is for everybody, and I don't need anything particular from here. The moment we arrive at that plane, we are at the level of the highest human potential, a saint state of a saint.
Thank you. Thank you. You have spoken about the true aim of practicing ahimsa and drawing from purity and faith is liberation and freedom, and liberation from our fear, our hatred, our anger, our jealousy, all these gunas that tend to pull us down, and to experience that deeper state of freedom, both freedom within, freedom from. And I was wondering if you could expand on that, on both that state of being and also how we go about cultivating that on a daily basis, Mohanji. Because, you know, and again, I speak for myself here, is that there are times when I'm really not able to do that. There are moments when I just feel that my anger is too large, that my ability to practice and commit to ahimsa itself feels like a huge burden to me, instead of the release that actually is. And so, you know, I struggle with those things, and I was just wondering if you may have some insights about how we go about releasing that burden.
Yes, as I said earlier, the basic emotions like anger, hatred, or so many things which we do not have much control on, and that's usually because we have a habit of it. We are habituated, or it's habitually happening. It's not that something which you have chosen or you have cultivated. It's not even a cultivation. It's habitual. Like we have picked it up, and it's happening through us. Especially Anger, for example, that's mostly because we have an expectation is not met, the reflection is anger. So there is the source is usually expectation, or in a way expectation, disappointment, anger. So this is the usual flow. So that is then, and liberation is a state that you arrive. Liberation is simply that you are not bound by anything. There are three possibilities. One is position, another is possessions, third are relations. These are the three usual factors which bind us, bind everybody, bind every human being. And the moment we are not bound by any of this, that's when liberation happens. And liberation is a state that comes to you, or that you become that state. Then expression or experience of that state is freedom. Freedom means whether a thing is there or not, whether a situation is there or not, whether a relation is there or not, you are fine. You are totally unbound. And that's a very powerful state where you can't be defeated then. Life can't defeat you. Life can't pull you down because you are unbound. And that unbinding is so fiercely expressed by the experience of freedom. I mean, many people, I think, they do not know freedom. They think that freedom to do what they like to do is freedom. That's not true. That's actually being a slave to senses. Freedom is freedom from senses and mind. We are not bound by any pleasures, and we are completely free from all pleasures. But at the same time, we are not running away from any pleasures. Any pleasure. We are not at all running away. We are with everything, but we are not bound by anything. If the thing is there or not, it's fine. So when you have that kind of stability, nothing can defeat you. And for that, the method, as you asked, that when anger happens, let the anger happen. Don't suppress them. Suppression is one of the main things which causes delay in transformation. Denial is same. Denial, suppression, all these things causes, like we can see in small children, you deny them something, they only want that. We are also children in that way. When we don't have something, that's the only thing we need. When we get that thing, we have no value for that. But when we lose it, then again value comes back. So while we have something, we have no value. When we lose it, we have great value. So that's exactly how our mind works. So in this context, being aware is very, very important. This is what is life. So being angry is not a problem, but don't be anger. You can express anger. Oh, I'm becoming angry, and you can see yourself becoming angry and have that experience completely. But you are not angry. You are not really anger. So where freedom is induced into every situation, you can practice that very easily. I always call it a pause method. Pause a little bit, then come back and be angry again. So that in that context, you are not angry, but for the outside world, you are angry. But inside, you are peaceful. You are actually experiencing or expressing one part of what you could be, and you are doing it with honesty. So we are liberated by birth. By birth, we are liberated. But we do not feel that liberation, usually because we are bound by position, possession, relation. We do not see beyond, or we are afraid to leave those boundaries. That's why we do not feel freedom, but we are free by nature. And please remember, 8 billion people of the world, all beings have the same things. We are not exceptional. All people are angry. All people have jealousy. All people have weaknesses. All people have strengths. So we should not think of ourselves, or in other words, we should not compare ourselves as somebody better or somebody worse. We should not do that, because that's a waste of time. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. I always believe that I have the most number of weaknesses. So I don't really have to compare, and I don't have to really feel great I don't have some. So that you can ignore so many things and focus on what is necessary. So that the only way to tackle most of the things which the mind dishes out is to ignore it. Just allow it to happen and ignore it. Don't resist it. But the moment you resist anger, it becomes more angry. More anger will come. The moment you resist jealousy is another word for appreciation. When we really appreciate something and in somebody else, and we can't express it, it will come as jealousy. So it's a positive thing. So you can actually look at the positive side. Yeah, I really admire this person. And what we could possibly do is that you can tell that person, I really admire what you do, your style of work or the dress you wear, or so that the jealousy aspect can be completely nullified. So in every situation, we have a potential or possibility for changing that into something positive, for sure. And anger, for example, a mother expressing anger to the child, the mother is not angry. It's positive. Because where is the anger coming from? If it is coming from hatred, etc., then it's poisonous, because then your inside is contaminated. But if it is coming out of love, it's deep love, and then you're out of love and concern, you are angry, it's positive. Be angry, because that's your good, truthful expression. But if it is out of selfishness, if it is out of greed, if it is out of possessiveness, then it's not a positive. So there you have to address it, or tell it, or through awareness, burn it. Awareness can burn everything. So when we become aware that this is happening, diagnosis is more important than cure. When you are aware of it, don't try to control it. Just allow it to happen, and then flow with it, so that it will go away. More we resist, the more it persists. That's what happens with life. But we must understand that we have the greatest potential in all the creations of earth, that we can experience God. We can experience God. That's not possible in many other bodies, through many other bodies. So our this fundamental strength, it's remarkable. So if you look at our highest potential and keep an eye on that all the time, you will realize that other things are not important. A bit of anger, bit of jealousy, bit of greed, they are not important. Our potential is so huge that we can experience God. And we are a community in India especially, that we hardly asked God things. We asked God to be with us, or we asked God to show Himself or experience God. Our path has been always to experience God, or to be God. Means, I'm not saying being God means like a person sitting high above and blessing or cursing. It's not like that. Being God means experience of infinity, experiencing infinity. Our the huge universe is consisting of one God, and He has multiple dimensions, and each dimension has form, structure, character, energy, vibration, frequency, and we respect all that. So this is a culture of respect. That's why we were talking about ahimsa. Ahimsa is a fundamental culture of respect, and so is Annadan. Annadan is the serving food. Serving food is Mahadan. Mahadan is the greatest of servings, or greatest service is serving food, because when you serve food, then that enhances you, that makes you richer inside. When you share what you have, it makes you richer. So food is something which can satisfy people. Belly full, I'm happy, satisfied. So ahimsa is paramo dharma, the height of righteousness is ahimsa, and annadan, serving of food, is the greatest of dans, of services. So these are things which purify you. You gain purity through these things, and when purification is enhanced, then our stability is increased. Stability becomes, we become very stable, and when our stability increases, then through pranayam, the breathing and all those techniques, we are able to come closer to the energy which we call God. And then through detachment from senses are always roaming around on sensory objects. So detachment of senses, we bring the mind which is going out with senses within, and become one unit where mind, body, intellect and ego and spirit are together. Then we connect to source, the soul. So that's enlightenment. That's the time when the whole being is connecting to the principle inside, which is the energy inside, the electricity inside, the soul. And once that connection happens, we become a complete unit. Then we cannot expand or contract anymore. We only expand, or we cannot contract anymore. We don't have anything more to contract, but we can expand to the universe. That's God realization.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a wonderful encapsulation of how we seek to embody ahimsa in so many different ways, integrating our mind, body, and spirit, and using unconditional love as the basis. You've shared before that love is God. Not that God is love, but that love, the expression of love, is God. There's that beautiful expression in Tamil, "Anbe Shivam," that love is God, and our ability to both realize that truth and to embody that truth in all that we are, all that we say, all that we do, and doing that, cultivating that purity of consciousness and being, grounded in faith and faithfulness, a deeper faith in ourselves and a deeper faith in the larger life that we are a part of, as a path that leads us to freedom and liberation, is to me a wonderful message for us to hold and to carry as we mark the anniversary of someone who sought to embody that in his own life and in his message and his work. So I'm just deeply grateful, Mohanji, for your sharing this insight and inviting us into this. And I would be grateful if you're able to guide us in meditation, in seeking to connect with this larger principle for some time, so we can all be together in this space and in this way of being.
Thank you very much, Reverend. It's been really a pleasure for me to be with you and convey this message on Mahatma Gandhi's birthday. And one of the things I would like to tell you, that even though ahimsa has always been a great path which which guided many religions or many paths to perfection, but Mahatma Gandhi personally, with his life, he brought it back to the world because it's a much larger world, and people believe in what you live, not what you say. So Mahatma Gandhi lived ahimsa, and that became a kind of a possibility, or real living possibility, to the world outside. So that way, Mahatma Gandhi has to be considered as a Jagat Guru, as a guru of the world. So it's a living world, and the world keeps changing its stances. And today, when we see that we are looking at possibilities of lockdowns, and I mean we have gone through it now, lockdowns and restricted atmosphere, etc. It's important that we should not be angry, upset. It's important because it's easy now to be angry, upset, hating things because we are restricted. In restrictive atmosphere, our worst comes out. So this is the time when this particular topic is very, very, very important to be conveyed, especially because if we choose to experience, or if we really put attention and experience non-violence inside now, then we are home. This is the right time to be that. So it's very, very, it's a very practical time to talk about peace. But if peace is not cultivated in the hearts of people, there can't be peace outside. This is a world which is ridden by greed these days, profits, insensitivity. We see a lot of that, and that's causing wars and causing bloodsheds, displacements, quite a lot of things. And it's time we have many more peacemakers, not even saints who are meditating in caves, but we need peacemakers who would live peace and bring peace to the world. And they have to cultivate it inside, otherwise they can't give it to the world outside. So I really appreciate and congratulate you for initiating this, and I wish this movement a great success.
Thank you so much, Mohanji. Thank you, Reverend Janamanchi. Before we get into the meditation, we want to just once again announce the program dates. Living Ahimsa is an online program. It's a 21-day online program, which is in collaboration with the church. And it'll be from the 11th of October to the 31st of October. So we will be sending you information about this program. And the program will incorporate many of Mohanji's teachings and practices. So please do sign up for this program and benefit from this program. And thank you, Mohanji, for providing us the foundation for a wonderful program that can happen. But thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Are we now starting with the meditation?
Yes.
Keep your eyes closed. Take a deep breath from the top of your head to the root of your spine. Exhale from root of your spine to top of your head. Keep breathing deeply. And while breathing, feel the breath from top of your head to root of your spine and back. Keep breathing. Inhale into the root of your spine. Exhale from the root of your spine. Feel the energy filling into every cell of your body while you are taking these deep breaths. Just concentrate only on the breath. Feel brightness within your body. You are glowing from inside. You are bright inside, your entire body. As much as possible, keep your spine erect and breathe deeply. With each breath, feel the brightness increasing within your entire body. Feel your heart center now, very bright. The space within your rib cage, the entire chest region, totally bright and white. In this brightness, feel all your anger, all the hatreds, all jealousies, all greed, all selfishness, everything getting dissolved. Regrets of the past getting dissolved, guilt getting dissolved. In your heart center, that brightness is swallowing and dissolving every negative emotions from your past. From the past of this life and all lives. Keep breathing deeply. Feel all the blockages getting removed from your body, all the blockages of the body dissolving as all your negative emotions are dissolving. All your negative emotions are taking away all the blockages of your body. Feel the freedom. Keep breathing. Feel your heart center like a huge vacuum cleaner, cleaning all the negativities from your past and removing all the blockages from your body, from your system. Feel the brightness increasing as more and more negativities, all the anger, all the hatred, all the selfishness, all greed, all possessiveness, all kinds of negative are going into this vacuum cleaner and bringing in brightness, light into your entire system. Feel that. Feel yourself becoming lighter. Feel the lightness. Also feel that all the empty spaces that was previously occupied by negative emotions are now getting filled with non-violence, selflessness, unconditional love, compassion, kindness, purity in thoughts, words, action, faith in yourself, selflessness, purity, ahimsa. Feel it. Every cell of your body is absorbing these higher possibilities as if it was thirsty for it. It was thirsting for it. It was really thirsting for it. Fill those spaces with those higher possibilities. Feel it. Feel the brightness increasing. Really, really increasing. Feel the brightness. All these positive emotions, all these positive states like compassion, kindness, selflessness, ahimsa, they are enhancing your energy. They are enhancing your vibration. They are making you more stable, more worthwhile, more relevant in life. Experience that. This is truth. You are unlimited. You are absolutely brilliant. You are a powerhouse. You have no limitations. Experience that within. Clean all your dark areas. Clean all the bad memories with the bright white light and fill those spaces with love, deep love for yourself, deep acceptance of yourself, deep self-respect. Fill those spaces. You are everything. You are important. Feel it. Fill those spaces. Fill those spaces that was previously occupied by negative emotions, feelings, guilt and regrets. All those have gone. Fill those space with brightness, beauty of brightness, beauty of love, beauty of acceptance, beauty of respect. Be beautiful. Remain beautiful. Remain yourself. Gently rub your palm. Give the energy to your eyes, to your whole face, your whole body, 3 times. And whenever you are ready, you may open your eyes. If you like to experience the same energy, if you like to be in this energy for a longer time, you're welcome to do that. If you like to practice this many times a day, you're welcome to do that. Be a great citizen of your country. Lead by example. Lead by example. Let your life speak your truth. Lots of love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mohanji. The most powerful experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Wish you great success. All the best.
Thank you. And get well.
Thank you,
Mohan.
Reverend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Lots of love to all of you.